This is a book of principles. My book of principles. These all serve as fundamental pillars. Pillars that form a way of thinking, a system of belief, or to put it in one word, a philosophy. This book contains 5 principles, 5 of the most important characteristics that manufacture my work, 5 constant and everlasting ideas that have built a foundation of trust between the work and my dedication to continue creating the work. Deep focus. Not just focus, but deep focus. The act of isolating the mind from the universe and dedicating every ounce of concentration into the work. Deep focus can also relate to tunnel vision, where concentration levels are so high that you can almost visualize what the finished product looks like. In order to maximize levels of deep focus, preparation is crucial. Deep focus isn't just about training the mind to dedicate itself to one thing. It's also about making all the necessary arrangements, a pact of some sort. In order to maximize the length of time and levels of concentration, the universe must know you're entering into a state of deep focus. Integrity. Integrity can mean many different things to different people. I often use the analogy of a house of cards to explain what integrity means to me. You see, a house of cards by itself lacks the strength and stability to keep itself upright for a long period of time. Although the pieces form a unified foundation, any sudden movement from a single card can cause the whole structure to collapse. These cards represent moral principles: honesty, sincerity, trustworthiness, nobility, decency, fairness. And whilst they're all incredibly important pieces that make up a large portion of integrity, they overlook a fundamental slice: the tape that keeps structural integrity of the house intact, giving the foundation everlasting existence without the threat of collapse. The tape, of course, representing imperfection, deficiency, reality, rawness, unfiltered, distortion. Both the cards and tape come together to create my definition of integrity, a world where one cannot live without the other. Innovate. When we talk about innovation, we often refer to individuals like Leonardo da Vinci, Ludwig van Beethoven, Steve Jobs, Chief Keef. Every single one of these individuals brought something different to the table. But to innovate isn't just to stand out or to introduce a unique concept. It's also about how one feels as an artist and how one allows those feelings to be brought into existence. You see, it's one thing to sit for hours on end and write down pages and pages of innovative ideas that push the creative boundaries, but it's another to bring the first thing that comes to mind into existence. Trusting your creative instincts to give life to that first idea and allowing it to blossom. To be innovative is to be brave. To be innovative is to be discipline. I will now demonstrate discipline. Being disciplined isn't necessarily about following rules to avoid punishment. It's not just about being hard on yourself or setting limitations. Being disciplined is about fulfilling one's full potential. It's about knowing what you want and creating a pathway to those aspirations. In order to fulfill that potential though, you will need to make some promises to yourself. And most importantly, keeping them. Discipline means to create a clear and simple objective. Having done so, you'll often be reminded of this objective when certain obstacles come into effect. Providing your objective contains the right amount of motivation, you'll achieve discipline. Perspective. All 5 principles are valued equally. However, this one takes precedent over the others. You see, despite there being nearly 8 billion human beings roaming the planet, every single one of them experiences the world exclusively through an independent lens. No 2 set of eyes see the same thing. Of course, we can both see the same picture on this piece of paper, but how we see this piece of paper is completely independent to what we see on this piece of paper. My work needs perspective because it's imperative that I allow you to see universal ideas through my lens. Perspective gives you a chance to understand my way of thinking and will perhaps give you a broader understanding of my ideas. Perspective is the chief of all principles because it gives deep focus, integrity, innovate, and discipline the right to exist. Without perspective, there's no reason to create. Without perspective, there's no value in the work. There are, of course, many other principles that interlink to the 5 mentioned. Maybe even some that sit exclusively to the 5 mentioned. But these are the 5 principles that must be followed at all times. Without them, we have no basis for creating. Work becomes meaningless, or worse, a replica of what has already been created. But with this, I hope to never experience that emptiness again. This is a book of principles. My book of principles.